I took a long walk along the historic coast of Normandy in the country of France. It was a lovely day for strolling the seashore. Men were sleeping in the sand, some of them sleeping forever. Men were floating in the water, but they didn't know they were in the water, for they were dead. The water was full of squishy little jellyfish about the size of your hand. Millions of them. In the center, each of them had a green design exactly like a four-leaf clover. You know, the good luck emblem. Sure, hell yes. For a mile out from the beach were scores of tanks and trucks and boats that you could no longer see, for they were at the bottom of the water, swamped by overloading, or hit by shells, or sunk by mines. Most of their crews were lost. You could see trucks tipped over and swamped. You could see partly sunken barges and the angled-up corners of jeeps and small landing craft half submerged. And at low tide you could still see those vicious six-pronged iron snares that helped snag and wreck them. On the beach itself, high and dry, were all kinds of wrecked vehicles. There were tanks that had only just made the beach before being knocked out. There were jeeps that had burned to a dull gray. There were big derricks on caterpillar treads that didn't quite make it. There were half-tracks carrying office equipment that had been made into a shambles by a single shell hit, their interiors still holding the useless equipage of smashed typewriters, telephones, office files. There were LCTs turned completely over, lying upside down and on their backs, and how they got that way, I don't know. There were boats stacked on top of each other, their sides caved in, their suspension doors knocked off. In this shoreline museum of carnage there were abandoned rolls of barbed wire and smashed bulldozers and big stacks of throwaway lifebelts and piles of shells waiting to be moved. In the water floated empty life rafts and soldiers' packs and ration boxes and mysterious oranges. On the beach lay snarled rolls of telephone wire and big rolls of steel matting and stacks of broken, rusting rifles. On the beach lay, expended, sufficient men and mechanism for a small war. They were gone forever now, but we could afford it. We could afford it because we were on. We had our tow-ho, and behind us was such enormous replacement for this wreckage on the beach, you could hardly conceive of their sum total. Men and equipment were flowing from England in such a gigantic stream that it made this waste on the beachhead seem like nothing at all. Nothing at all.